Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Kaylee and I'm a creative artist living in the UK. This is number 4 in the series of me showing you the art that I've done this week. I'm really happy with what I've done. I think that although it's smaller pieces and it seems to have been getting smaller each week, there's a lot of good stuff here. I feel like I've really got that like automation going where I want to paint or I want to draw every day. Just a little note is you might see my hands move around like this in the video and pointing to things, but it's just because I've filmed this live and was talking, but there was like a mechanical sound going throughout where there was an issue with the microphone. So I'm having to re-record that and I do apologize for that in advance. So let's go. So, so I have a sketchbook, I have some loose pieces, and I also have the tiny thing in the front is a concertina sketchbook. If you'd like to have another look at the concertina sketchbook and see some of the footage from that trip, that is my previous video and I'll link it below. It is called Walk With Me, I think, and it was just a little something. So I've opened the sketchbook now, and in this one I'm showing you some pieces where these were my first pieces of painting with gouache in possibly over a year. um, I use the jelly gouache. You can see it's all cracked. I'm trying to rehydrate it slowly and not to like mix it all up. Um, and I had this sitting there and I'm trying to use up art supplies because I just don't know if I will. So then after my little practice, I went in and I did this one, which is a landscape, which the reference is in one of my books that you can see along the side here. Um, I think I'm going to show you it now. So Wild Britain, Wild Ireland, and honestly, these are my favorite reference books to use. So it's all mainly the British Isles or Scotland, things like that. And I really find those the most inspirational, the ones that I do want to paint. So that's what this is, and I used gouache for this one. It was a bit of a challenge because I didn't have my normal colours that I normally would reach for with my watercolours, so I had to be a little bit creative and mix the colours and kind of get to grips of how it works and layer in from the darkest to lightest rather than with watercolour where you can just build up on those dark areas. But I don't hate it. I do enjoy it, and I did a few more on loose pieces of paper just as a little test, a little exercise. So it's all the same sort of area, just different perspectives, I suppose. So that's the only two loose pieces of artwork that I have, and then I have a bit in my sketchbook. So just looking at the color differences, you can see the development as I've gone along. So you can see the colours are a little bit bright on that first one. The second one, a little bit darker, deepening up those tones. And then the one in the sketchbook, obviously the darkness is there. Sort of getting the hang of how the gouache works and how it mixes. And I think that it's really cool to be able to document that and to see that. It would have been even better if I did all 3 in the sketchbook, but that's okay. So next I was kind of wanting some sort of something different. I needed a change. Been struggling a little bit with because I've been so busy in my home life, just needing something that's not busy. So something that I don't really have to think too hard about. So I painted these and I really like them. I'm still getting to grips with how the gouache works and things like that, but just some little floral designs. I like to draw these boxes in my sketchbook sometimes just to fill in with things, and I like to sort of make up a mini theme for the spread. And so that's what I did here, using up the greens and trying to figure out at the same time like how the colors layer on top of each other. And I decided to try a new style of painting the pink underneath. That's what I was just showing you there. So this one is just a sketch. Sometimes I'll sketch them out and draw over the top, and I'm pointing to the books because I use these as a reference all the time. And this one is so light, I'm so sorry you can't really see it, but I'm showing you this is the book that it's from, The Nature of Britain, and this is one that I picked up from a charity shop for literally like £2, and it's so beautiful. It has so many things in, like animal references, location, like landscape references. It even has like some other bits like of like buildings and things that you'll see, but mostly like it's the animals and the trees and things. Such a lovely book. I would definitely recommend this one, and it splits them up into sections as well. A few of the books that I have do that, where they'll split it up by either season or location. And anyway, the sketch, I've just done it really lightly. Sometimes I'll do this before I paint, but I think I went too hard in with the details, so I've left it just as a sketch, which isn't like me at all, but I thought it was important because I was getting too tight to leave it and to move on. And so, but you'll see when I turn the page, I have painted it again. I just felt like it needed its own page for the actual painting. So the sketch got left and then I painted it. And I felt like it worked much better. I wasn't caught up in the details and the tightness of the sketch. Here's just some more landscapes that I've filled in with some gouache in between. And I'm using the technique that I keep showing you a page where there's like pink. And under these three, I painted all of these pink and then painted on top. And there's no pink at all, but it did find that it helped with like composition wise and working out which colors I needed, because when there was this really bright, like intrusive pink, I knew that I needed to cover it up. I wasn't just going to leave it white. And so it really pushes me to think about the colors that I'm going to choose next and how am I going to fix that, and does this color work with that one? So I really enjoyed that experience. Moving on to this one, I really struggled on this day with this painting on the left. I was using a reference from Pinterest and I just couldn't figure it out. I think the reason is I went in to start painting it the same way that I would with watercolor, where I know that I can like layer it up. But I think with gouache, you have to sort of go in with the darker colors first, and I didn't do that. And so then I struggled with fitting those in, and so it's very, very light. It's very much the same kind of color as the rest. Then going back in the sketchbook, I realized that I forgot these. These are from the last video as well, from my little trip to Waverdale Park, and this is where I did the zine. So I did these, and in the sketchbook they are from memory, sort of what was in my head of what I remembered of the trip. And then in the little concertina sketchbook, that is more like using the references, using the videos that I took. And there's some beautiful, amazing clips in the last video that I will keep going back to gather inspiration. And I think I'll make more videos with those kind of clips in, because really made me happy watching it back. And when I was editing it, I felt like I was like there again. And I've seen so many beautiful places, but I always forget to capture those tiny little snippets and little clips. So I think I will do that. So onto the little concertina sketchbook now. I made this little case for it using the same paper that it's made out of. And on the front, I just painted the sign that was for the park. I didn't actually see the name of the park until the end, and I just thought it was really cute, so I wanted to make sure that that was on there. And I might continue to do this for the different places that I go if there is a sign. So this is one side where I've painted like the wildflowers, the tops of the trees, and there was a little hoverfly on a blossom that I captured in a video and was really cute, and the little sign. And I think that these are really cute, and I'll go into more depth of these on the last video if you want to check that out. But there's some beautiful clips as well. And then on the other side, there are some more. So this is the little bench that I stopped at to sit down, and I did a little bit of filming there. You'll see in the other video. There is another landscape where this is from the other side of the bench. So sitting on it looking out, you can see the trees sort of make these forms that look like hills. There was like a little dirt path with all of the like plants and bushes that were building up either side, which was really cute. And then there was this little red bug, and I still don't know what the little red bug is, like what it is called or anything. I've never ever in my whole life seen a bug like this before. And so I really would love if anyone could tell me what the bug is, because then I can live peacefully, and I'll also be on the lookout for them in the future. I'll actually insert a little clip now so you can see what little red bug I'm talking about. Anyway, that is the concertina sketchbook, and I just decorated the cover that it was in to fill it up to make sure I knew where it was, and I thought that the sign was so cute that I painted it twice. But that is all. So I have shown you my sketchbook, the concertina sketchbook, and the two loose pieces of art, and that is it for this week. I think that although each week the artwork level and size is different, I'm very proud of the work that I am making in making that habit of painting every day, and even finding time when life is crazy busy elsewhere, finding those little snippets of joy and painting and developing my skills over time. And I'm so proud of how far I've come just in this short time of this journey of painting every day. I definitely feel like it's like a muscle memory thing, and just remembering that I'm developing skills, it's never too late, and I enjoy it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video as well, me sharing that with you. And if you liked this kind of style of video, I have more. This is number 4, and you can go back and watch the playlist. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!